This here video is about the comparison of using an inverter versus a generator for glamping. People might say, well, what is glamping? It's called glamorous camping, where you take everything but the washer and dryer. This is no kidding. Okay, when I go camping, I take everything but the washer and dryer. I've got my hot plate, I've got my big screen TV, and I have my modem. Everything else I have is battery operated DC fans and all that noise. But this stuff cannot go DC, it has to be AC. So I have all this stuff. So then I grab my inverter and there's the terminals where you tie it straight to the battery. You can see it. That's the plug. It's a universal plug for all over the world, but that's the plug that I plug into to get the AC out of the inverter and be able to turn the TV and everything on. So let's go to the formula. For a lot of you, this formula isn't going to make any sense, but I can tell you right now, it says 12 volts from the battery because that's my battery, and it says 4,000 watts high output from inverter because this inverter is capable of putting out 4,000 watts. So let's get the battery and let's get this thing hooked up. Let's put on the inverter. Let's make sure the inverter has 13 volts DC going into it. Now, do I have on my TV? Have I got on my modem? Cool. Yay. How about my hot plate? I know that this hot plate is going to suck up some wattage, and I know I'm only running on one battery. So, do I have my hot plate? Won't let me do it. Okay. Scotty, give me more power. That's all you can say about it. So let's go back to the formula, says Scotty. We go back to the formula. He says, I know what we need to do. Let's jump up the amperage on this thing so that we can get the power out of it. So we put two batteries together and stick them in there and hook the whole thing up. I have my 13 volts like I'm supposed to have. I have my TV. I have my modem. Yay! Do I have my hot plate? Well, it comes on now. It'll go up to 3 or 4 or whatever, and then it clicks right off. No, I do not have my hot plate yet. We got to do something about this. Got to do something. This is starting to frustrate me. You know what? Do I need to spend $1,500 for a loud generator? Because I'm out in the woods and stuff. I don't want to bother the birds. And besides that, you have all that maintenance and stuff you have to take care of on this thing, and I really don't want to spend that kind of money or have that kind of maintenance. So, what I'm going to do, I have an idea. I'm going to call on my icon, the guy who knows how to fix nothing. He says, okay, well, let's take a look at this chart of yours, and you're trying to get up to 4,000 watts. Wow, that's quite a lot to expect of some batteries. Why don't we take your 12 volts and boost that guy up before you end up carrying around and trying to maintain about 12 batteries, which is kind of ridiculous. Let's get an alternator. So we're going to take the alternator from the truck, and we're going to, of course, we're not taking it out of the truck. We're going to hook jumper cables from the truck to the battery that feeds our power, and we're basically going to add it to our concept. What a concept. We now have, with the truck running, 13.7 volts. Now, what is so good about this is the fact that I have to charge this battery anyway. So the length of time it takes to get that hot plate to heat up, and it's already done heated up, it is in boiling water and not giving in. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. We can fry eggs, we can do whatever we want on the hot plate. We only need one hot plate because you can only cook in one skillet at a time on our kitchen setup that you've already seen on the other videos. So we have 13.7. It is going to the hot plate. We are cooking with grease now. We have our TV. Yay, I can watch the TV finally. By the way, without the hookup and everything, this TV ran for 12 hours and did not hurt the inverter at all. And that's just on one battery. And we had the battery go from 12 and a half, almost 13 volts, all the way down to 11. We hooked it up to the booster set on the, we hooked it up to the alternator on the truck and ran that battery all the way back up to 13 volts inside of 30 minutes. That right there is not only quiet because the vehicle is not that loud, you don't have to maintain anything, it's just a great thing. Do we have the modem? Yes, we have the modem. And we have a hot plate that is cooking all the way. Man, we got it made now. This is just too good for us. Like I said, run the truck for about 30 minutes or so at idle. Now the thing is, when you have one of those generators, and if you're ever listening to the thing and you turn on a hot plate or something, you hear the thing ramp up because it's trying to put out the power to equal that thing for however long you want. In other words, it gets louder. And the birds just don't like that. They take off. And in the truck, 30 minutes worth of running, you're fully charged, you're back to dead quiet. Everybody loves you. You can dump that generator, no maintenance, no anything, and the birds will actually stay where they came from. You know what I got to say about that? Happy camping. I hope you go to the inverter.